Guys, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here. Guys, listen, I'm in the Northeast and it is cold as ice. It's 26 degrees Fahrenheit for my international viewers out there. Guys, so listen, the title of this video is Empathy, the Narcissist's Biggest Fraud, right? So listen, guys, I'll cut right into it. The narcissists, when they were young children, suffered tremendous trauma. They had to abandon their true identity. Essentially, the pain was so severe, the abuse that they encountered was so severe that they said to themselves, we're going to stop feeling, right? Because that's the only way to survive. And so they suppress the side of them that allow them to have feelings, right? They allow them to anticipate someone caring for them. They had to cut it off, right? If the parent doesn't show them love or is abusive to them, in order to survive that, you have to stop caring. You have to kill yourself, basically. And so from the moment they did that, they had to form a fake identity. The fake identity is really a protection mechanism to allow them to function in the real world, because they suppress the emotional side of them to such a degree they can't get it back. They lost it. It's gone. So inside of the narcissist, there's nothing. And because they suppress that emotional side to allow you to have feelings, right? What's left is the dark side. Rage, anger, division, jealousy, gluttony, anger. Those are the emotions the narcissist was left with, right? We have both, right? So we have a balanced way of getting through life. The narcissist does not, right? And so the moment you met the narcissist, you engaged in their fraud, right? And I explain it this way to you. The narcissist, when they meet you, they take a snapshot of you. And that snapshot I refer to as a frame of reference. Inside of that snapshot is how you're supposed to behave, conduct yourself, perform, and respond, and show up, and look, and carry the load of everything the narcissist expects you to do. The narcissist doesn't have a snapshot for themselves. It only applies to you. And so that's why the narcissist is an antisocial as well, because they don't have the same framework and expectations for themselves. It allows them to run with full abandonment and do whatever they want. And because they lack empathy, they have no insight as to how it affects you when they cheat on you, when they steal your money, when they force you into bankruptcy, when they turn your business partners against you, when they, if it's a parent, and they say harsh, horrible things to you, when they abandon you because you failed a test in school, or you didn't go to the right school, you didn't get A's, you went to a second-tier medical school. All of this is because they surrendered that side of them, that empathy, the empathetic side of them, to relate to others years and years ago. And so dealing with a narcissist becomes extremely difficult. And that's why it's so difficult. But it's even deeper than that, because if you think about empathy is what allows you to be successful in life. To be a police officer, you have to have empathy, right? A lot. People give cops a really hard time. But to be even a bad cop, you got to have a lot of empathy, right? To be a firefighter, you have a lot of empathy. To be a school teacher, you need empathy. To be a dancer, a choreographer, you need empathy. You need to know how to move your body in a way that communicate the emotions to the audience, right? To be a friend, you need empathy, right? So a narcissist lacks all of that, right? So the biggest fraud the narcissist perpetrates on you, right, is the pretense that they have some degree of empathy, which inside the narcissist, there is none. It's a donut with a big hole in the middle. Understand? There's no empathy in them. None, right? Now, think about it. When the narcissist did a snapshot on you when they meet you, they have to do this. They do it with everybody, right? And that's why everything is so sequential, like the love bomb, the future faking. The future faking needs to extend itself. Once you find out he's not buying you the ring, he has to breadcrumb you. And so the breadcrumbs comes after the future faking, right? And then after the future faking, you get upset and you're like, and the breadcrumbing, you get upset and you're like, to hell with this person. They've already cheated on me 4 times. I'm not going to get married to you. It's over. And then before you could end the relationship, they have to discard you, right? And after they have to devalue you. And after they devalue, they discard you, right? However, the narcissist then comes back, right? Why do they come back? They have to come back because they've idealized you into a frame of reference, right? In order for the narcissist to find someone else, and people make a lot of, there's a lot of misinformation online about narcissists, right? People make a lot of noise about, there's the clamor in the online echo chamber about narcissism is that they come back because they lack their partner, their side piece ended the relationship, or they had someone else on the shelf and their other supply left them. All of this is true to a certain degree. However, that's not the main reason they return. They return because they've conditioned you. They've when a narcissist manipulates you, the narcissist manipulates you for 2 reasons. The first one is to get supply, right? The second one is to create a neurochemical bond with them, right? And so they trauma bond you with them. And the whole purpose of the trauma bond is so that you will stay with them forever. You will remain in that frame of reference forever, right? And so that's why they come back, because the longer you are away, that trauma bond fades, right? And now you start thinking clearly, and you realize this person was just a fraud, that you want nothing to do with them. So that's what the trauma bond is for, right? And so that's why they return. They return to solidify the trauma bond. And that's why the pain, when they come back, it's 10 times worse, because now they have to work harder to make sure that you never leave again. And so they inflict some serious pain on you to the point of death. The many people who have lost their existence because of something that the narcissist has done. Many people in jail because of something the narcissist has done. But they cannot stop doing that because they have no empathy. You get it? Right? But the narcissist already knows they lack empathy, right? Before they encounter you, because they have to operate on a code of indifference, on a fraud. They have to perpetrate a fraud before they encounter you. They already know they have no empathy, guys. You get it? They already know, they have to commit a fraud on you in order to lock you down, in order to get a commitment from you, in order to gain a relationship from you. And so that's why you'll see the narcissist has a frame of reference for going to the park. And I use these analogies all the time. We refer to people who see a little girl selling Girl Scout cookies at the park, right? A little girl's out there selling Girl Scouts cookies. The narcissist shows up, asks the little girl, do you have a permit to sell these? The little girl says no. The narcissist then calls the cops on her. The little girl starts crying. The narcissist gets some enjoyment out of that. The reason for that is because the narcissist has a frame of reference for how people are supposed to operate inside the park, right? And dare you not deviate from that standard, because they did a snapshot of how you're supposed to behave inside the park. But the reason the narcissist has that kind of interaction is because they lack empathy. You guys get it? So that's the biggest fraud the narcissist perpetrates on you. And that's the purpose of this video, is to advise you guys that even when you wanted to get the narcissist back, just be aware that this is who you're dealing with. And one of my clients wanted to know something about this, and this is why I did this video. All right, guys, talk to you. See you on the next.